What's up, everybody? Wait, Adam Wolf, get first! Get first now while you got the chance! Nope, too late. How you doing, folks? Let's do some game dev. Let me know about the audio levels, because, you know, Mac OS, OBS, different day, all ballsed up yet again. So let me see here. Hold on. So hopefully that should be working right. First hydrate. There you go. Yeah. First hydrate is the most important. Alright, we're working on resources today because actually we're working on the upgrade panel because look at this, folks. Right? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? No, hang on. Alright, let me run this thing. Let me get you up to speed on what's been going on here. Stuff. Alright, so you will see the Buy Max button is there, folks. It's there. Now, before anybody in the chat room, you know who you are. It's all of you. Before anybody says anything, yes, there is a problem. And AI, so basically AI couldn't get the higher max button to work for me, doing all the complicated math. So I said, you know what, all you stupid machines, I'll do it myself. And I got it working. Now, there is a problem though. The values are absolutely correct. I'll explain what I mean there. So, like here, for example, right, 61, right? So we get, I've hired 1 because it cost me 10, right? Now, if I do 60 and do it, I get 7 because 60 divided by 10. You got it, 6. This is all good. There's a problem. The problem becomes when you get super large numbers. And this is what AI couldn't figure out, and I did it for it. So, for example, I've got 1.6 quadrillion newbie hackers because I'm awesome. And I want to hire the max. Well, it all works. I've got it all working. You don't believe me? I get it. I will show you. I'm going to cheat. Right? Look. Alright. Hang on. If I go in here. Actually, I don't want to put it in that one. Hang on. If I go into my newbie count. If I increase this to 2, you get 1 million, 1 billion. You see where this is going. Right? So here's 42 quadrillion. So 42 quadrillion divided by 10 is a large number. But I've got it doing the math in the background. And yeah, I've got some layout issues up here. I've been working on some stuff, but don't worry about that for now, right? So now when I do this, it'll do it correctly. It'll do the math correctly, but it won't display correctly. Let me show you what I mean, right? Here, 4.2 quadrillion, that's fine, right? But every so often, of course, you will get a number. Let me see if I can make one happen here. 0.21 quadrillion, that's fine, right? But if I get a number that, basically, I don't get whole numbers displayed is what I'm getting at. So, let me see if I can, I'm going to try and make it do this if I can. Hang on. Basically, you can't have 1.1 hackers, right? Is what I'm getting at. I think we can all agree you can't have 0.1 of a person. So the math is correct, but the display is slightly off. It's a bug. It's a known bug at this point. I'm moving on to other things, and I'll come back to it, okay? But the math is correct. The display is slightly off. I just got to figure out, hey, round this up on the display, or down, or whatever. So this is all working. This is all awesome, right? Everything in the game at this point that I've implemented is working. I know, that's awesome, right? Key point is what I've implemented. So We don't have the multiplayer stuff yet. Kane H! 35 months, folks. That's dedication. Shout out to you. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Does that make me a script kiddie or still a noob? Kane H, I think we all own our heart of hearts. You're a master. You've always been a master, right? And a Jedi master. But shh, don't let you know who find out. The dude with the big black hat, right? You're a master. You're such a master. So, can I do it? Yeah, here you go. Look, you can't have 4.799 script kiddies. Sorry. So, I got to fix the display issue, but we're moving on from that because I want to get the upgrades. I'm working on the upgrades, right? This is what we're doing now. We're implementing new stuff. For those who are curious, yes, all the boss fights work. When you get to the last boss, of which there's only 3 at the moment, let me be clear. But when you get to that 3rd one, it's not going to break. It's just you can keep fighting that 3rd one, right? So that's where that is at. Now, I want to get the resources working. I'm going to get the upgrades in here so that we can really start getting those numbers working for folks. Persistent storage, not here yet, because if I have a choice, I want to go cloud persistent storage, which means getting the player registration and stuff and all that good stuff working, right? So that's where we're at. But we need to do these upgrades because you know these numbers are slow. You don't want them to be that slow, right? So that's what we're doing. Let's get some upgrades going, right? So I literally just before the stream started looking at this. So let's turn this on. Let's turn these off, right? Let's hide all that stuff for now. Okay, so the idea here is I've got a short list, very short list right now. Number 1 is you should be able to use some dark web coins to upgrade how many hackers you get per game tick. Right now you get 1 newbie per game tick. Well, that's going to take a while, right? So we need to have you be able to do this. So I'm just working this out. What I'm going to do is we're going to build 1 item. Once I've got it all figured out, we'll then convert that to a prefab, as we call them in Unity, and then we can just replicate, and we'll power it up just like we do everything else with configuration. Okay, so that's the plan. Hopefully the interwebs are going to hold up for us. Let's do this, okay? Now, let me check the music here. Hold on. I feel like it's playing the same one. Is it time for... It's time, right? Yep. It's time. Right. Because this week, folks, Drop Saw is available on iOS. I know. Go to our Discord. I think I put a link. I did put a link in there. I've not put it up on my website yet, but it's out there. It is in the Play Store. So there you go. Apple agrees. It's the most awesome thing ever. Hey, while we're talking about this, I want everybody in the chat room to give a massive props to Adam Wolf. Well done, Adam Wolf. Muse is on a list, folks. Yeah, well done, Adam. Proud of you, buddy. If you don't know what Muse is, go to museapp.com because I use it and you should too. Look, it's right here on my toolbar. See? Look, in case you don't believe me. Look, I'm even going to prove it. I'm going to open it. Look, here's a bunch of stuff. I know. Bunch of super secrets. Shh. Yeah, well done, buddy. Real proud of you. Well deserved. Okay, so let's start by putting some items in here, right? I've just got right now, we've just got a basic background, right? We've got a graphic image, but that is all we have. Alright, so let's add a couple of things. Let's just start by adding a simple button. Well, we'll make the interface look pretty as we get this working, but for now, we're just going to say on this, we're going to purchase. All right, because we're using dark web coins for this. So let's give this a name here. We're going to want to probably change these in code later. And now that's going to do it. Right? We will just put this. Let's see here. Why does it keep looping on the same track? What are you doing, Suno? Okay, hang on. What are you doing? Next it says next in queue, but I don't think it's actually playing next in queue, right? We'll see. Okay, so we got our purchase button here. I'm gonna line it up really badly for now. That'll do. Let's add a text label. This will be well, let's hard code this upgrade for now, and then we'll get the I got a sketch out here on some paper of what I think the model is going to look like, but let's go with this for now. So this is going to be upgrade newbie hacker. Rate. We'll come up with a better name later, maybe. Hey, you think I should fix the spelling? There you go. Let's make this 28. And we'll put some fancy graphics in and all the fancy stuff when we get this working. Upgrade title. Gonna make that a little small. There we go. And then let's just pre-plan this a little bit. So copy paste. Shh, I copy pasted. Description. Right. This upgrade will add 1 to the newbie hacker rate. This is the newbie hackers. This is the newbie hackers you gain per game tick. We'll come up with something better later. All right. Just moving them around. I'm gonna try and make it look reasonably decent. Okay. And then we'll put this down here. We're going to give ourselves enough space for 3 lines of text. Right. Okay. Now, actually we're going to put the cost on here. This may be a little small on the iPhone, I think, but we'll see. Actually, let's restrict that to that. And then what we're going to do, upgrade cost, all right? And we're just going to say 10. It's not going to cost 10. Or is it? Right. Actually, you know what? Both of those can go to there because, hey, if you buy enough of them, it could cost you quadrillions. Because, you know, it's the way we go, right? And let's put that there. Upgraded. And we're just gonna say, hey, this is how many dark web coins it costs you. A hell of a lot. Right? Is it finally? It is finally moving on to the next track. Okay, but we're gonna make these a little smaller, even smaller, and we're just gonna scale all this stuff accordingly. We just want to make it proportional for now, right? That'll do. All right. Okay. Let's, before we go any further, by the way, there is a sale on right now on the Unity asset store, whatever you want to call it. I got this fantastic, so I already used one. I used 2 by an author, and I've got a 3rd one, I'll talk about it in a second, that I just got because it's on sale. One to put these fancy icons and colors on the folders, another, on the outline here in the hierarchy, another to do it over here, and now I got this 3rd one, which was like $16, which it's worth just priceless right now, because it lets me put tabs up here for each of the appropriate things, so I don't have to keep going and finding them. You have no idea how much of a time saver that is, so go check them out. Right? Okay, so let's go back here. Let's go to our prefabs. Let's drag this in here, right? This is an upgrade item. Boom. Why do we care? Because now I can do this, right? Now I can just add another one in here, like so. That's a bit big. I know it's a bit big. But we'll fix it, right? Because it's a massive scale right now. Don't know why I did that, but we will fix these things up. I just want to get a feel for how this is going to look, right, when we start laying out other upgrades. So we're just going to put a few in. Because I don't want them to be too small. Again, I want you to be able to read this on a phone and everything. So we're probably gonna scale everything up eventually, but for now, let's just have 2 rows like so, right? That's why we love prefabs. And then once we add all the parameters and stuff, we can populate all of these with the proper things. We'll probably also end up making this a scrollable view with other things. This guy NZ, how you doing, buddy? How are you, my friend? Okay, so let's put this back the way it should be. All right. Let's just make sure I didn't mess anything up here when I run this. You're all right. If you're all right, I'm all right. I'm good. You're working and lurking. Go for it. Isn't that what we do, right? Go for it. Dropsaw is in the iOS store, folks. And this guy NZ was one of the folks that helped me solve some problems with that. So shout out to him. Along with everyone else in the chat room. But he doesn't want me to say it, but he's a genius with Unity. Shh. He's going to get mad if I say that. No pressure. Okay, so here's our upgrade panel, right? Doesn't do anything, obviously. But it's there. It's a basic starting thing, right? We've got 3.8. I know. It's just a visual thing. Okay, good deal. Everything is like it should be. So what we're gonna do is we'll go back here. Let's hide these things. Let's hide all the things. Shh, hide the things. So we can keep working on this. All right. So how do we want to do this? Well, we're going to follow a pattern that I have been using on... See, he says he's not. Okay. Let's at least say, acknowledge, we can agree he's very good at it. Yeah. Still puts pressure on. Okay, so when we play the button here, right, we're going to do, we're going to throw some events around is what we're going to do. And I have been doing Unreal Engine all morning, building a level for something else. So now I've got to try and remember how to do this with C# in Unity. Okay. So let's go over to our scripts. Do we have any of these to work from? Yeah, we do, right? We've got our resources. So you may be aware, or not, we've got this resource row script here, right? And in here, right, you got a whole bunch of things. But some of the things we have, let me find them here. Hang on. Okay, so we have the way we're doing this here, and actually I probably will do it this way instead of using an event, because this will just work, and it'll work exactly as I want, regardless of how many items I have, which is all I care about here for this, right? We're not going to over-engineer this. So it calls back on my main game logic, right, a function. We're actually going to do it that way. Let me show you another way though, so that you're aware of it. By the way, this code is super unrefactored, optimized right now, as you can see. This is all the shit that I had to figure out because AI just couldn't figure it out. And I gotta refactor it at some point. Not doing that right now because it's working, and I'm pretty sure it's not final. So until it's final, there is no point in me getting super crazy optimized with it. And that's what I'm going with. But there's a bunch of functions in here that it calls, right? So one of the ones we can call, right, is we're going to make one here. We're just going to call this perform upgrade purchase, all right? We're just going to stop out a basic function here, right? Just for those of you who maybe are not familiar with this and want to get started, I just want to show you how this works, right? For the rest of you, you're like, really? This again? But hey, you know me, right? I want to inspire people to go make cool stuff. And if I can do that by showing them how to do the basics because nobody else does, hey, that's what I'm doing, right? So we've got this, actually we need to make it public so we can get to it, right? So we've got this public void perform, it keeps going back, there we go, perform upgrade purchase, right? It's just got it's going to put a log statement in there right now, but let's go back to Unity, okay? So inside, so we don't want to have to obviously, keep doing a bunch of work here, right? Over and over again. That's just crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our upgrade item, and inside the prefab, what we're going to do is we're going to assign that function call to this button, and we will send it some data and some stuff, but we're going to do it here so that when we do it on this one, it applies to all the prefab items, all right? Think of it as a prefab as being like a clever template, I guess is the way to describe this. Bandwidth holding up? Yeah, 5 meg. Wow, dang. Feel like I should do something important with it. So we should at some point we're gonna need a script here. That point is time is now, right? So we're gonna create a new script, and we will call this. Actually, we're going to call this upgrade item, and we will, because this is the one that is going to be used. Come on, over here, right? So let me think. We can just put it on here, right? That's fine, right? So now our prefab has this upgrade item script. Let's go add some functionality to it. So we want to be able to configure this in the interface. So we're going to do a serialize. Not going to complete for me today. Okay. Field. Let me think about this as we're planning this out. Okay, so we're gonna have main game logic. We need a reference here, right? Actually, I should get the name right. Hang on. main game logic. I had it right. Main game logic, and we're just gonna, yeah. All right. So by doing that and saving that, now when we go back over here, we got here, right? You see this? Of course you see it. It's right there, right? We can now assign to this our main game logic, which is right there. Okay? Again, it's got some scripts on it, but it's right there. Now, here's where you gotta be careful. If I do it here, right? So if I did this and I drag this over to here, it's only gonna assign it to that one prefab, right? But we actually want it on all of them. And I gotta think of the best way to do that here. We could do it like we did in our resource row. So in our resource row here, right, we have this one right here. Right, we got this main game logic. I'm not doing it via the interface here, but what it's gonna do, let me find it. Here, right? Get a reference to the game logic object. So main game logic equals game object, find any object by that type. There's only one of them, right? So it's gonna find the right one. And in fact, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna do it that way. We're not gonna do it in the interface here. So what I'm gonna do is change this to that, and in the startup we do this. So instead of me dragging it in the interface, it's now assigned there. That's the theory. No compile errors. Please give me no compile errors. Thank you. All right. Okay. So why does any of that matter, you're wondering? All right. Well, I'll show you. Okay. Because if I go back up to my project here, I go over to my upgrade item. Now, on this button purchase, right, there is, of course, an on-click event here. And what I can do is, let me do this the easy way. I can just say, on-click, on the upgrade item, there's a bunch of scripts, including upgrade item. And in there, we're going to have a function, and we're going to call it from there, right? So let me show you this here, right? So we're going to say void. Let's just call it purchase button pressed. Thank you. I'll go with that, right? And then we're going to call in our main game logic, we're going to call our function, which is this one right here. We hope, right? And we'll send it a bunch of data, but for right now, we just want to get a basic print statement hooked up for each of those buttons by only writing the code once. Okay, so we're going to save that. Probably something over here is going to be a little unhappy right now, but we will get there. All right. So on the button press, upgrade item. What did I not do? I know there's something I didn't do here. There's always something I didn't do. Someone in the chat room can tell me. Hang on. Did I get a compile error? No. Oh, wait. Do I... Hold on. I missed something. Oh. Very sure this doesn't have to be public, but okay. Because we're not really calling it from the public, but okay. Here it is, purchase button pressed. So when we click the button, just to make it clear what's going to happen. Inside our prefab, right, it's going to call the script on the prefab and call the purchase button pressed, which is going to call main game logic perform upgrade purchase. Reason we want to do that is we only have to write this once here, and now everything else we can write in here, all the fancy stuff, if we got it right. Let's find out. If I didn't get it right, pretend that I did. There you go, right? See it there, perform upgrade purchase. Look, we only put it on one item, but we should be able to click it on any of them. Except we can't, because what did I not do? Actually, sorry, it is doing it. There you go. Look, you can see the timestamp updating. All right. And actually, if I do it over here, you'll see 15 count. Look, if I click it again, 16, 17, right? So it's working on all of the buttons. So anytime we drag that prefab to our stage here, the button's just instantly going to be hooked up. All right, which is great, but now we need to make it smart. And I guess we should do that, right? So this is hooked in here. I could, for now, sort of hardwire this just to show you, and let's do it, right? Let's do it and get it working, right? So I know from all of the stuff that I've coded here that if I say player data, I don't know why. Oh, I know why it's not working. Because it's saying, hey, this is the free version, but you've used up all of your free goodness as far as autocomplete, and it turned it off. Hang on. Auto code completion. Somewhere it turned it off. Inline completion. It's turned on there, but I know it turned something off somewhere. Anyway, over here in my player data, I have... Well, actually, we've got it here in the game logic too, right? Let me show you. Okay, let's just close that horrible nastiness. On the update here, we update the newbie count, right? What we can do, let's go over to our player data, which is here. And this contains everything we need to know to make the game work for a particular player. Oh, these horrible case statements. I gotta refactor this stuff. I want to make sure I don't have a function right now, since this is new functionality. All right. So hang on. I want to make sure I don't have. Here's my update newbie count, right? This one sets the newbie count, but there isn't one that sets newbie game tick count yet, because, like I say, new functionality, right? So we're gonna add one here, right? Add to newbie game tick count. So it's always stuck at 1 at the moment. But now that we've got this upgrade here, we can set it to whatever we need it to be. Now, we want to make this generic going forward so I can use it for other things. So it may not be 1, right? So count to add, right? And we're going to make this a large number because later in life, once you've been playing this a while, this could very well be a large number. You may be upgrading it to 1 quintillion point 1. Hey, way to go you. Right? So we have it'd be game tick count, right? Which actually up here you can see is already a large number. It's just set to 1, right? So we're just gonna say newbie game tick count plus equals whatever amount we want to add to it. Simple as that, right? Hopefully that should be it. And just to save me typing a few numbers, I'm just gonna copy that. Lazy. So over here, right, it's gonna perform the upgrade purchase. Now we're just gonna say add, dang it, what did I call it? Add to newbie game tick count. Add to newbie game tick count. And it's going to expect a number, right? So we could just say a new large number. In this case, we're just going to add 1, right? Is it going to be unhappy about something? I bet you I've forgotten a bloody semicolon. I bet you. No? Dang. Okay. Let's test this thing for reals. Right? Let's turn our interface back on here. Hide the upgrade panel. Okay, so you can see, right, we're going up by 1, right? So let's go into here, let's click this once, cancel it. Now we're going up by 2. Ship it. And it didn't cost me. So, let's go nuts. Click it a whole bunch of times, right? So you get the idea, right? Look now, see? Did you get it? Right? And it didn't cost you any dark web coins. Quick, use it while you can. No, it didn't ship it. That's the basic idea here, right? So just to show why we want this to be a large number now, if I change the order of magnitude to 3. Oi! Alright, here we go. This is where idle games get really nightmarish on the math. Alright? Going up by 1, cancel it. We're now going up in billions. That's going to make the game a lot easier. But you get the point, right? It's future-proofed, right? I know. Let's do it again. Okay, alright. Let's just go nuts. Right? Yeah, we just made the game super easy. Oh, you get the idea, folks, right? You want to stay within the types because this is what AI couldn't figure out, was the math. I know, you would think it could do it, right? But hey, I guess humans are okay after all. Alright, so this is in place, right? However, it's not costing us anything. I know, seems cheating, doesn't it? And at the moment, it only works with the newbie count. That's fine, we'll get there. We're gonna build this in sections, right? Okay, so what do we need to do here? What do we need to know? Let's make ourselves some little notes here, right? What do we need to know about this upgrade to make it work correctly? Well, we need to know the DWC cost for the upgrade, right? We need to know what type of upgrade it is, and that, I believe, is probably going to be it. Let me think. We may want to put some, yeah, we are going to put some fancy things in here. Actually, we're going to have some fancy icons and stuff. So what resource icon should be displayed in the panel, and also what is the title for the upgrade, and then what is the description for the upgrade, right? Okay. That populates the panel, gives us all the data we need to send out in the map here. Actually, we're going to want to add one more. How many what is the upgrade count being purchased, right? So it's 1 in this case right now, but later on, like I say, that's going to go up. So that's where we're going to pump that number in right there, right? This future-proofs, as best as we can ascertain, the prefab, right? Again, drag a new one, configure this stuff, boom, we're good to go. To give you an idea, let me show you an existing one, right? So if we look at our resource list here, right? This is a similar thing, right? So if we take like professionals here, right? What resource type is it? It's a professional. That's an enum, so we can't get it wrong unless we just choose the wrong one on the from the enum list. It'll do the wrong thing, but it won't crash, right? Just don't use strings. Just don't use strings. Upgrade type. Some other things here, right? So we're gonna. This is what we've got. Some checkboxes. These are all things we're gonna set up here programmatically for configuring our prefab. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Give me 1 second here. Where is all my things? Where is all my things? Is that my things? Let's see. Checking things. Hang on. Is that working? What? End of our playlist? Oh my god. Back we go. Here it is. There we go. Okay. You know what? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. I'll be right back. You know what? Hey, I need to grab some more hydration actually. But here is a link to the Drop Saw game for iOS. Doesn't cost you anything. Go play it. Have some fun. That's where this song comes from, in case you wondered. I will be right back. All right, chat room. Let's see who's paying attention here. I have 2 hydrations. And we will put up a poll to see which one we should open first. Because it's that important. Let's see here. A new poll. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. I can't wait 10 minutes to drink. All right. Here you go. Knock yourselves out. I'm not gonna vote because I'm gonna drink either. It's a case of which one goes first. Okay. While all that is going on, let's see. Yeah, I know, goat, right? Okay, let's add what we need here. Let's start putting some of these things in. So let's do the easy ones first, right? Can't spell. Still can't spell. I can never remember, so I'm gonna cheat and copy that from there. Shh. Right. Let's take the same thing here. Put the description. Please. Nobody. See, I knew it. Nobody is paying attention in chat. I knew it. Right, so that gives us the title. That gives us that one. Oh yeah, no, I don't doubt that you're all lurking like a pro. We're all pro lurkers. It's what we do. We're like, I'm gonna watch this guy, but I gotta fix my own shit. Don't worry, we all do it. I am not offended. But somebody pick one, because if not, I'm just gonna open one. Okay, so we got the item title, we got the item description. Now, we put them there, and on the startup here, what we're gonna say is item title dot text equals, you know, item title. Is that right? No, hang on. Give me a second. Now I've confused myself. See, I desperately need the hydration from my brain. Alright, you know what? Hang on, let's hook these up as we go. Right, so we've got the title and the description. Let me save that. Hopefully it compiled. Because compile dev, right? I got an error. TextMesh Pro, could you be missing a directive or assembly reference? Yes, I am. Completely. I want this one. Thank you. Thanks for not importing that for me, by the way. Software. Thanks for that. Okay. Here we go, right? So we can say, look, there's the title, right? There's the description, right? Title, description. Now it's not going to change any right now, but they're hooked in. Let's go back to here. Right, we got our upgrade panel. We got our first item right there, and actually we should, you know what? We're going to change this to just set the values in here. We don't need to set the reference. What we can do is do the same thing we did here, right? So same thing basically as we did earlier. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this one line, and I'll explain this in a second, right? The reason it's important to give decent names to things like these names here, right, is so that we can do stuff like this. Stuff. I know, it's stuff, right? And we're just gonna say, hey, we're gonna have some object, right? Some game object, and we're gonna set it up here by finding that game object, right? So actually, this one is not gonna be a game object, but it's basically the same thing. We're gonna say find whatever's here, right? Which is why we wanted to call it this, so that when we go back over here, if I put that in there, it's just gonna find it in that tree, right? And this does not need to be a serialized field now. And we can keep them private because we're just going to set them up in here. We're going to do the same thing for the description. All right. Going to save that. Hope it doesn't break anything. Shouldn't. It did. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to take a convenience function I wrote over here. which is gonna be find label object by name. Here it is. So I wrote a little function here that says, hey, go find this thing by name. If it's null, don't do anything bad, right? Just return null in case I didn't set it. So don't crash. But on the off chance you found it, return that text mesh pro UGUI UGUI object. All right. Celebratory hydrate. Yeah. Did anybody vote? Anybody? Or did nobody vote? Somebody, it's a secret who, just rated drops or 5 stars. I don't know who that secret who is, but secret who, thank you, who. Thank you, who. Okay, I just want to check here. I didn't miss the, hold on. Hold on. Nobody voted. Okay, so that means I get to pick. I'm picking this one. It's got the power of strawberries, bananas, and a whole bunch of ooky vegetables that won't be able to be tasted in this. Thank you, Adam Wolf, for the celebratory hydrate. That's how you know there's no alcohol in this, because I can say that. All right. Now, let's get back to this. We're going to put a little convenience function in there, which should solve that problem. Just compile and not be broken is what I want. Okay, great. Now let's get really scary adventurous. Wait, is this thing stuck on the same song again? Really? It totally is. Jeez. There we go. Okay, so let's go into our prefabs. Now, to make sure this darn thing is working right, we're going to set all of these to empty. Things are going to get horrible. But this is a good way to know what we've got. Actually, that one's a label. That's static. This will help us understand what we've got hooked up and what we don't. Yeah. So right now, they'll all be nasty, empty, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's add the right code. Some code, any code. Okay. Actually, I'm missing something. I'll be right back. Okay, I found my sanity. It was in the closet. Alright, so now that these are set up, what we're going to do is we're going to add to our interfaces here. Serialized field. I spelled it right. Yeah. And this one is going to be a string, and we're going to call this item title text, because it's got to have a different name. Copy this. Item title description. And then down here, because these have hopefully been set up correctly, we can say item title dot text equals item title text. Item description, item description text, right? Okay. It's not going to do anything for us immediately because I got something wrong. What did I get wrong? Item description dot text. There you go. Okay, let's go back. But here's the thing. Now if I click on one of these prefabs, look, I can put them in here. Right? So we're going to say newbie hacker hire rate for the title. This will increase the newbie hacker hire rate by 1. Leave it at that. Now, fingers crossed. Touchdown! World goes crazy. There you go, right? So now we can set it in the interface. Just to hopefully prove this. Let's give this a meaningful name at this point. Upgrade newbie rate. This one, we will say upgrade. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Purchase desktop, right? We'll let it. All right. Purchase 1 desktop machine. This will add 1 desktop. Now let's add 1 desktop machine to your resources, right? Boom, there you go, right? See, look. So that's how it's going to make it super easy going forward for us to add new upgrades. Of course, these ones will, this one will work, but we got to set up the other stuff. But you're getting to appreciate the power of prefabs here, I hope, right? Whew, I was thirsty. Okay. Let's add a third one, which I've got on my list here. Purchase level 1 access. But let's spell it correctly. Purchase 1 level 1 network access. This will add 1 level 1, I know, network access to your resources. Alright, we just want to get some stuff going here. Let's get rid of those 3 now. Great. Okay, so we've got these, but now let's make it meaningful. And let's actually have it do it and cost the appropriate amount. Because I'm mean and it should cost you things. Oh, let me see. What's the time here? Yeah, we're okay. All right. So we have some other items here, right? Some of these will be powered by the data model, which we've not created yet. Now this one, what resource icon should be displayed? Let's do that one. That's something a little more visual, right? Something a little fun. And what I'm going to do, you will find I've already done everything I need over here. Right? So, well, I say that. I hope I have. Yeah. We got this one here, which is the icon. We're going to add, we'll use the icon file, which is a resource that's loaded at runtime. And what we need to do right there. Except on this one we called it, let me find it here. Actually, we don't even have that yet, so let's add that. Gonna drag my prefabs up there. There we go. God, that was a priceless, just totally, every second I use it, I'm like, thank goodness I purchased that extension. Again, Unity prefabs, Unity assets on sale, yeah. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's add, let me show you, right? So in the row here, we have this icon, right? And in fact, we're just gonna make life easy. We're just gonna take that one there, copy it. We're going to stake our own code. There you go, this guy NZ, if you're listening. And we're going to take that, put that in there. Except it's a little bit off right now, right? Let's see, what can we do here? Try and make this a bit more interesting. Well, let's leave it like that. See how it plays out, right? So now that we've got that icon image in there, go back to our code. We're gonna find that icon image and set it to the icon, right? Okay, that is our prefab setup. But if we go back right now, right, and if I turn the upgrade panel on, let's turn the others off. I wanna lay this out here. Okay, there we go. So this icon image right here, right? If I go to this, let's close that up, right? You can see over here, actually I have not added, that was foolish. Hang on. That's there, but I got an error, I think. Yep. thought I had an error. Hang on. I do have an error. Yeah. Because I did it again, folks. I did not add. I gotta use my own libraries. I make it and didn't use it. Find image object by name. There you go. I gotta move all of this stuff into my own library of code and only write it once. But that's for another day. Promise. Maybe. Maybe I promise? I don't know. Oop. But it works now. Maybe. No? Oh, because I'm... Why can't you just import these things? Oh, what? Which one is it? I think it's this one. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now I can give it an icon. So this is the default icon right here, right? But let me run it. Okay, no icons in there right now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna select the newbie rate. We're gonna go to our over here. We're gonna go to our sprites. When we find them, there they are. All right. Where did I add? Wait, where did I add them? It's not that. Resources. Because it's, okay, resources is the one folder it uses at runtime. I keep forgetting. Okay, so for our hackers, we are going to use our level 1 hacker, which is this one with no stars. In case anyone didn't notice, look, each of the different hackers has a different level of stars because, hey, they work for them, right? So we're going to add that one there for the desktop. We will drag in the desktop machine. And for the network access, level 1 is this one, I think. I think that's level 1. So now when I run it, it shows the appropriate icon, right? Yay! Yay us! Okay. Now let's make it look somewhat half decent on the layout. Only half decent. Never go fully decent, just half decent. Alright. So let's see here. What should we do? Oops. Nope. I'm not going to do that. Alright. Let's make this a bit bigger. Actually, so we can see the layout. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put... There you go. Got to remember to take that out. Okay. Well, you know what we could do? Let's try this. We could have it appear behind the whole thing. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. Let's have the icon over here. And then let's move the description to be over here like this, right? Let's try that. Chum, there you go. Only half decent, but half decent nonetheless. All right. The game practically makes itself at this point, right? I think the icon is a little big. Yeah, that's better. And because these things bug me no end, I gotta have the text line up with the icon because it just bugs me because I'm like that. Sorry. All right. And let's just move it over just a little bit. That's better. And because of all of that, that actually gives us some space that I was hoping for to bring the cost down, because that was feeling a bit cramped under the title. Yeah, this is coming together nicely. And actually, now that we've got this, let's do this. What happens if we bring this over here? That's a bit weird, isn't it? But I don't want it lined up with the title. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. All right. Cool. Actually, you know what? That icon's just bugging me just a little bit. Bit more. There you go. That feels better. I'm tempted to move the purchase button over to this corner, and I could put the cost down here. We'll see. We'll see. I've really got to try this out on my phone and on my tablet to see how I feel about it. I'm not worried about the web version and desktop and so on. They'll all be fine. It's primarily the phone one that is the one I'm bothered about for font sizes. But okay, cool. Okay, let's put the interface back the way it should be. I just want to make sure I didn't break anything. Yeah, there we go. Okay, before we go any further, let's address that button. Hello, button. Sorry. I need to make a universal palette for all these colors too. All right. Eventually, what's going to happen here is if you don't have enough coins to purchase a particular upgrade, I'm just going to disable it, right? So, and then of course, when you've got enough, it'll enable the panel. But I'm not worried about that too much for right now. Just want to get basics underway here. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's better. I just still don't like the way that I know it's just me. I don't like the way this sharp corner and this curved corner here sit like that. But now I gotta fix it. It's bugging me. All right, let's put the purchase button over there. It's just bugging me too much. Yeah, and then that enables me to make the button just a little bit bigger, right? That feels a lot better. Yeah. Hopefully you agree. All right, let's go back, and I need a couple of these other colors. Might as well do them while I'm doing it, right? Let's get that disabled color there. Which one was that? It was the selected, okay. Okay, cool. All right, let's clean this up. Okay, so the remaining items we have to do here is display the cost, and then also remove that amount of coins from the player's dark web coin count. Okay, cool. And that's all going to be in code here. How you doing, chat room? Anybody awake? Let's see who's paying attention. Nobody. There's nobody there. I know there's somebody there. Only just. Hey, I'll take only just. I'll take it. Okay, let's take that one off. All right. Let's take this one. Actually, there it is there. Label upgrade cost. I was looking for the name. All right. All right, this should be familiar. This is what we did earlier. We find the item, assign it, and then now we're going to give it a value. However, the value for this one, we're not going to put that in the interface. This needs to come from the model, which does not exist yet. So we got a to-do here, right? We need to assign the cost of the upgrade, purchase, whoops, to the displayed value. Text. I will be right back. You're awaking so hard right now. On a Sunday, that's, for me, that's always the challenge. Like, oh, I know, I need to so hard wake up. I know how that goes. Listen to this guy. All right, this guy, I'm listening. Hopefully he's going to say, just keep doing what you're doing. All right, so for this, for the data model for this, how this part's going to work. I'm not sure I want to rush into this today, or this part, because I really want to think this through and future-proof it like I have the other stuff, which means doing it like quickly on a stream is not a good plan. Rarely does that ever go well. So what else can we do here? Yeah, you know, all three of those remaining items need to go in the data model. So, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, if we take something like say the boss list here, which if you've followed the stream before, and hey, you should follow me, trust me, it's worth it, mostly, promise, kinda. We're going to end up doing something similar to this for the upgrades to power this. And this took a little while to think through, and I want to make sure that I think this next one through as well. Yeah, I think what we might do is we may stop it here for now and say, all right, you know what, we come back to the rest of that after I've thought it through, because I don't want to rush it. Okay, cool. So, all right, the good thing here is we got that part in there, and you know, the boss fight thing is working, and everything. Basically, like I say, everything here is working at this point, except for the upgrades, which is good. And we got a lot of good work done on this, I think. Probably, I think in the end, what I'll probably do is put these in a scrollable grid, so that I don't have to concern myself with screen real estate, and it gives me room to add as many as I want. And if I reduce them, we're just going to get a nice interface like this. These are all good, sensible decisions, I think. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Hey, let's do a boss fight. Let's purchase some of these free upgrades here, shall we? Come on, let's get to 10 hacker power. Come on, that's all we need, right? 10 hacker power. Right? Look, we can do this. We can take them on. More free upgrades. Get them while you can. think I'll probably make it so that this one here, hiring your first extra boost, right, for the hacker newbie hackers here will cost you 1 dark web coin. Yes, the price is gonna go up the more you use it. Let me be clear. Nothing, you gotta work for it, right? Okay, let's do it. Let's hack the boss. Ready? Come on, let's see if we win. Please let me win. Sweet. There you go. All right, Jane Java. Awesome. Haven't broken anything yet today. That's the good news. All right, cool. Folks, we are going to leave it there. This is good. We got a lot done here in a short space of time. Well, short space of time being about 1 hour, 45 minutes. But we got a lot done. This is awesome. I love making progress on this game. And for those of you curious, if you're making a game like this, well, if you're making any kind of game, or app for that matter, but particular game, but if it's something here that has a lot of math, I thoroughly recommend making a game design document, right? So like, I'll see if I can show you here. Because this is like, so I got a rough sketch of the interface there, and all these notes are helping me keep track of all of this crazy logic, right? Progression unlocks and all this thing. It is worth doing. I know you're thinking, but I just want to make a cool game. Trust me, the more you get into your game, the more complex it's going to be. And if it's something like this, that's a lot of numbers and a lot of math, you're going to be glad you wrote the document. Let me just put it that way, right? See, like I got some boss notes here, and all these things. So trust me, it is worth it. And it's also good because you can look at it and see all the progress you've made as well. So there you go. All right, folks, hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon, morning, evening, lunchtime, brunch, whatever it may be, siesta. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a stream later on. I got some work I've got to get done, but we will see. If I've got time, I will. But that's it, folks. Have a great one. Thank you for hanging out with me. Go to projecthack.net. where I've got some basic details on this game, and I'm working towards getting a playable web version for you all. But it's, as you can see, we're making a lot of progress here, but I want to get it to a point where you can really have some fun with it. It is still obviously in very early pre-release here. Still got to finish up the multiplayer stuff, all that kind of thing. A lot of other features, but we're making good progress here. Have a great one, folks. I will see you again real soon.